Recorded in their mother's basement, Super Nerdland brings you Graded Point 5, where in a comic book it would be worth less than the polybag it comes in.
Hey everybody, welcome to Grade Point 5. I'm your host Jason, and Piper and Jordan are here too.
Hello.
So before we get going, we're gonna spoil a bunch of shit. And if you like or dislike what you've heard, hit us up at on Twitter at Graded Point 5, and we will promptly ignore you.
Aww.
Like the true
So
professionals
mean.
that we fucking are.
No, I do reply to everybody that has something to say. They might not like what I say, but oh well. I mean, some truths are very uncomfortable. So yeah, this week we're doing We3. This is alright, this came out right like a couple years after I got out of high school. Yeah, 2004. And I was at the shop every freaking month looking for the newest, the issues of it. Dear God, I'm a horrible person.
Yeah, I would just like to before we actually dive into this. After last week's episode, Jason was like, we done something a little bit heavy 2 weeks in a row. Let's do something light. And then not fucking 5 minutes later, this fucking son of a bitch is like, oh, by the way, We3. I'm like, I would literally was like, is this some fucking plague dog shit? He's like, yeah, pretty much. Although, to be fair, this has a better ending than Plague Dogs, because Plague Dogs just made me want to fucking kill myself.
Oh.
Alright, so this is written by Grant Morrison, art by Frank Quitely. So yeah, like, really good mix of writer and artist. And it was Vertigo, DC Comics, yeah. So the whole thing's about three animals. A dog named Bandit, who also is called 1, a cat named Tinker, 2, and a rabbit named Pirate, 3. We3. Why? Because they're fucking animal weapons. Cybernetic animals. Oh shit! I just got word. We're about to be graced with His Holy Highness's presence.
Oh.
Sorry, but yeah. Government agent conspiracy. What was it like? They didn't say if it was like army or anything. They just said, a government project run by Dr. Barry and Dr. Trendle.
Yeah, they didn't really say what branch of like the military or anything like that. It's just a secret government project trying to use animals as super weapons, kind of like a general idea.
Yeah. So, Senator comes and like visits and oversees everything, checks out the weapons, and is like, hey, this is pretty cool. And the general in charge turns around and decommissions it anyway. And basically says, kill the animals. Dr. Barry has a moment of conscience and sets them loose, hoping they'll actually kill her for her sins. Instead, they, accept her and leave her alone and shit. So she gets fucking black bagged. And Trendle, the other doctor in charge, works with the general and sends out more weapons to kill the other 3.
Yeah, because that was working out so well. Let's do it some more.
Yeah, right. So the animals decide to get... They need to get home. This, vague idea of what home is. And the military chases them, of course.
Like you do.
Yeah. But, of course, the animals being, animal weapons, brutally fucking destroy everything in their path. And, really gory fight scenes occur and shit. And for some reason, the rabbit poops minds.
Yeah,
That's all it does.
I did think that was a little bit strange.
I thought it was funny.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, it all makes sense. You know, the dog is, recon.
Right.
The cat's stealth, so it uses claws. Because cats have fucking claws.
Yeah.
What do rabbits do? They chew on things and shit everywhere.
Yep.
So it poops minds, Perfect.
I mean,
perfect weapon.
Well, it makes sense, because if they'd done something with the chewing on things, they would have obscured the rabbit's face, and there wouldn't be, that visible animal to attach to.
Yeah.
So they had to go with something a little more juvenile, but fitting.
Well,
And let's be honest, it is played to funny effect a couple times.
Oh, yeah, definitely. One of the things I thought was really interesting about this book, especially when you're looking through the first issue, because this entire thing is only about 100 pages.
Not
and,
even.
And if you go through the first issue, about half of it doesn't even have any fucking dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found really interesting about that is you do end up finding a lot of comics that run into the issue of not understanding show, don't tell.
Yeah.
But this book, on the other hand, it fucking understands show, don't tell, and it understands it in fucking spades. And it's amazing how much story they can tell just from a panel that's made up of 18 images that are made to look like they're from a security camera.
Mm-hmm.
It's one element of this book in particular that I thought was a very nice touch, and it just does a lot. It did a lot more for me from a storytelling standpoint than if they would have had, a couple pages of some fat fuck giving expository dialogue about the nature of these animals turned weapons.
Yeah, like the putting in a framing device like that, I think, would have ruined it.
Oh, definitely.
Because there's something about the simplicity of showing what's going on with very minimal dialogue. And it's very simple dialogue. These animals express themselves directly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look who finally showed up.
I had to pee.
I just assumed you were in a donut coma.
Damn it.
No,
Mike.
Look, straight up. I had to take a nap because I'm a gigantic baby, right?
Well, yeah.
And I had to pee, and it took a long time because I'm also an old man. It's just how things work now.
So what I'm hearing is you're a literal gigantic piss baby.
That is 40 years old, close to, yes.
Well,
Let's do 40.
So, yeah, we're just going through the book.
Okay. I'll do that. Didn't read it.
Oh, damn it.
I'm sorry.
It's pretty amazing for the first
Dude, the
time
worst part
I've-
is you can read it while we're fucking doing this, and we'll be done about the same time.
Okay, yeah, I'm
It
down.
was really short. I felt really stupid for starting it early.
Yeah, you're opening your book. I know.
Yeah, I'll download it. Don't worry.
I was all proud because I was like, I'm going to start reading this early, so I'll be done in time. And it was
That I
so
purchased
short, I
off
was like, I could have
Comixology.
started at my usual time.
Yes, I purchased this off Comixology, obviously, because that's what adult people do.
Yeah. Oh, that's how I get my comics.
Yes, and I'm pointing at the sky as I'm doing it. Capitalism.
Well, dude, when I can pick up a $20 to $40 book for $3 to $5, hell yeah. That's how I'm getting my Jim Starlin collection on. Because, best fucking Warlock and Thanos writer ever.
Well, yeah, basically almost best deep space writer guy ever,
Probably second to Kirby.
Yeah, probably second to Kirby, because Kirby had the privilege of creating.
Yeah.
But Starlin had the privilege of taking it to another level,
Yeah. All right, so yeah, we got cybernetic rats attacking the animals now.
Liking this already. Sounds like I ain't even got it open yet, and I'm like, oh, cybernetic rats. You say,
Brain is already erect.
Well, I would be if I wasn't, 80-year-old person.
So they like fight the rats on a bridge, and fucking the rabbit like drops some mines after spotting an oncoming train, and mines explode, and the train falls off the bridge.
Wait, you're telling me you mine a bridge, and those mines explode, and it's a train going across it, that the train will fall off the bridge?
Well, if the bridge is destroyed out from under it, yes.
Fuck. Thought it worked the other way. I thought it built the bridge.
Nanomachines, son.
Yeah. You take the bridge, you put mines on it, and you blow them up, then it builds another bridge. So you got 2 bridges.
So, God damn it.
Fucking Christ.
Y'all are probably thinking right now, he's usually not the high one. What's going on?
Well, I'm sitting here going, damn, it usually takes us longer to get derailed. Fucking.
I
right
see what you did there.
I want to act like I planned that shit. Like, oh, I'm gonna fucking do it to him. Nah. That's just me being like, God damn, we got derailed really fucking quick.
But it worked out. So
See, I'm not that smart. See, that's the problem.
So, yeah.
You could have went along with it. I set you up to look good and everything.
Train falls into the lake. The dog goes down, tries to save the conductor, till the cat just goes, dude, he's dead. Yeah.
I was sad. The dog is like, "I good dog, I good boy."
He's pulling half a corpse.
Yeah. I felt that was really powerful when it pans and you just see a fucking seagull eating at the dude's fucking entrails. You're like, oh shit. One tried so hard. He was trying to be a good boy. But nah, that nigga's super dead.
Yeah. I like how the cat's the realist. Like,
Right.
he's the voice of reason the entire time.
Yeah, well, that's a really interesting element of animals as characters, just in general. Bandit is very idealistic.
Yeah.
He wants to keep the group together. He wants to protect everybody who he cares about, which, of course, isn't very many people because, they're kept a little bit in isolation, except for when they're around each other. And then the rabbit's just there. Like,
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's something about that I always felt was very interesting because it kind of ties their personalities tie into the type of animals they are because you kind of know you think of dogs as loyal and wanting to protect the members of their pack, whereas cats are just like fuck it, I don't give a shit, and rabbits are just kind of there.
Yeah.
They eat shit, they eat and they shit, and they're just fucking there, and they panic.
Yeah.
And when they scream, it's fucking hilarious. Like,
I've only ever heard it once, and I screamed back because it freaked me the hell out.
it's fucking.
Oh, you're talking about a rabbit? What, a rabbit that actually makes it like a noise, like other than nothing?
Screams.
But yeah, I didn't know rabbits screamed, and then one did it, and I screamed too.
They have a freaky scream, that's for sure.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, you think of them as pretty quiet and just cute, like
there.
mild-mannered and there.
God, fucking rabbits are fucking hell beasts.
One night, y'all should watch Night of the Lepus, and then you'll really think that.
I've seen it.
Just that fucking name alone.
Yep. It's
Straight up. Fucking 1970s horror movie, cheesy as fuck. Watch it.
I love that shit. I will look for that shit. I love old ass horror and sci-fi movies. The older, the better. The dumber, the better.
Exactly. And this is dumb as shit. You're like, really?
I just before I forget, need to point out that the asshole kind of scientist guy.
Trundle.
But Does he not look like Ian Miles, whatever?
All right, hold on.
When he's not trying to look cool, like, does he just look like him, but
Oh my
it's
god,
unkempt?
she's fucking right.
It was
Hold
the
on,
first thing I thought, and I started thinking it more as I went on. I'm like, did they do that on purpose? Like, he looks just like him.
Let me flip through my book here.
Yeah, there's fucking like the best panel is probably the second panel of issue 2, page 6.
That was probably where I was like, God
Like-
damn it. That's
like-
probably where I was questioning whether or not they did it on purpose. I'm not 100% sure how his last name is pronounced, but y'all know who I'm talking about at least.
Are you talking about Ian Miles Chong?
Is it just Chong?
I think so.
Okay.
Or maybe it's Cheong. I don't fucking know.
I always heard Chong. You know, like it's the
Ching
E
Chong
wasn't there.
Ping Pong.
I've always read it Chong, but then I've seen Chong actually written without an E in it, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't want to
can't
butcher.
unsee this.
Right? You can't unsee it now.
From now on, we have to refer to this doctor as Dr. Chong.
Yep. That's what I started doing.
So Ian was chilling with these animals.
All right.
That's why I couldn't remember his actual name, like the character's actual name, because in my head I was replacing it the whole time.
Back in the story, the first funny thing happens. The rabbit's gone missing. The cat and the dog go and find him, and they're like on somebody's property. And the family's looking at this cybernetic rabbit like, is that a fucking alien?
Yeah.
So, of course, as a rational human being, the father shoots the rabbit in the head,
Awesome.
which damages his ability to talk.
Yeah, it didn't quite nail him.
Yeah, like grazed him pretty bad, winged him.
Yeah.
And then
So-
they proceed to get fucking murdered.
Everybody but the kid.
Yeah, that was... That fucking panel where you see Bandit leap at the dude with the gun, and the fucking cat just decapitates the other dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I out loud went, fucking oof. Because, like, okay, like, you know, because the panel, like, the page preceding this, you have just this thread where you see the fucking rabbit get goddamn brained. And I was like, I thought he was, I thought
it was dead. Like,
yeah, I was like, oh, okay, this is what's gonna happen. They're gonna slowly start killing off these cybernetic animals. All right, well, this is where we're going, I guess. Okay.
yeah, I honestly thought her letting them loose was going to come back to bite her in the ass because they were going to get killed in more horrible ways than if she had just euthanized them herself.
Right.
I thought that's where they were going with it since it was all depressing already, so.
Yeah, and that's kind of the idea that I had. And then you know, the very next page reminds you that yeah, these are killing machines that have no remorse. Well, I guess you wouldn't really say have no remorse because they at least Bandit still tries to do good. But yeah,
They're still running on instinct and training.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I guess programming to some extent.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, military goes, oh shit, they're killing civilians now. Send out weapon 4. It's a fucking pit bull. A gigantic fucking pit bull.
It's not. It's a mastiff.
Yeah, it's I believe bull mastiff.
Yeah.
Ah! Then,
It's-
Wikipedia's wrong.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Wikipedia should be corrected. They say they say in I think the first one
Yeah.
that number 4 wasn't ready yet, or we should have shown him the mastiffs instead.
Yeah.
Or the mastiff instead, and they were like, nah, number 4 is unstable or whatever.
Oh yeah. But even for a mastiff, that's way
But its
too
armor was
goddamn-
ginormous too.
Well, just the fucking animal in it is like ridiculously how the fuck impossible is that size?
Mastiffs are huge. I could ride on them.
Well, yeah,
course.
well, I mean, and you could kind of argue that with each of the animals, because if you take a really good look at these, like mechanized unit that the rabbit is in, ain't no fucking way a rabbit's that big, like these things take up maybe 10% of the
armor that they're in.
the
Yeah.
armor they're in, and the rest of it's connected to
So
like
that's how they
wires
made
and
him
shit.
extra huge. But then they took one of the biggest breeds of dog too.
Yeah.
They drew him well. He looks like a mastiff. He looks like a really evil, pissed off, demon possessed mastiff.
Yeah, that thing is legit fucking horrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's just. Oh, and it's all controlled by a rip-off an Xbox controller, really.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that fucking you can tell this comic was made in 2004.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, because it was made in 2004. I have so many questions. I'm just leaving them to the end.
Alright, so the other three, the cat, the dog, and the fucked up rabbit, wind up shacking up with a homeless dude, and, you know, the homeless dude's like, oh, they're animals, be's nice to them and shit. Military shows up, you know,
Ooh.
tries to pull him out of the area, saying, you know, there's dangerous shit going on, yada yada, you gotta clear out. Homeless dude just kind of goes, fuck the pigs, lies to him, says there ain't shit back there.
Thug life.
Yeah, just like flips him off, you know, we ain't gonna snitch kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Stitches, man, come on.
Yeah. So in comes the big dog. Yes, Roman Reigns makes an appearance, Wayne.
I'm this comic automatic 0 out of 10.
The rabbit stares down the mastiff, and,
Right?
And yeah,
Yeah, that fucking.
yeah.
It's
That was kind of
another-
sad, but it was kind of cool because then it made the rabbit not look like a useless piece of shit that was just there.
Well, another thing that I thought was really interesting is, like up to this point, you know, we've seen these animals go through as fucking killing machines, and then you get to the page where the fucking mastiff just has the rabbit in its fucking teeth, and not only is the fleshy bit of the rabbit fucking impaled on its fucking teeth, it's crunching on the fucking armor, like the armor that's, I'm fairly certain, supposed to be resistant to bullets and shit.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh no, that thing, that hulking monster is just eating through fucking everything. And then the rabbit poops out a bomb and it goes explodey again. You know.
I like how every time it pooped out bombs, it says "uh-oh." Every time.
Every time. Well, I think and I don't know, maybe it was just for me, that was kind of interesting because, of course, at this point in the story, you know, the rabbit had got shot in the fucking dome and it couldn't fucking talk. Everything was like feedback,
yeah.
you know, sparking and feedback. And then, you know, its last word before it fucking dies is "uh-oh."
Uh-oh.
Which I don't know. I felt that was really interesting because with I suppose you could point out to like the other times that it had used its explosive turds to do good, you know, to do good. It also kind of fucked some shit up that kind of was a negative for the people it was for its friends it was trying to protect. Whereas this time, it actually did a little bit of good. It does, of course, it doesn't kill the mastiff, but it's like kind of makes it so his friends don't immediately fucking die.
I mean, you can tell he did it on purpose. Like, he took one for the team kind of thing because he's been running, right? Like, he's been running from stuff, and this time, even though they were telling him to come back, he ran right into danger and then jumped at it.
Yeah.
And blew it
And
up.
then uh-oh'd him some poop bombs. Like, like it was planned.
Alright, so the doctor shows back up, and then, you know, they have a touching moment where the dog's like, you know, no decommish We3. And the snipers are taking fucking aim
No
at us.
disassemble.
Yeah. And fucking doctor gets fucking torn up by some big ass sniper bullets.
Yeah.
It's turned to fucking paste.
Yeah. And the animals escape. to go back. Well, Bandit goes back to fight the Mastiff, who really does not look any worse for wear from being blown the fuck up.
Yeah, they said he was damaged, but I didn't really see much.
Well, no, they were saying Bandit was damaged.
I thought they said that the Mastiff was damaged too.
No. Well,
damn.
Yeah, a little bit on his back end is damaged.
Yeah.
But that looks mostly superficial anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
Bandit's got a fucking arm literally fucking sparking.
Oh, yeah. Well, that and they were supposed to go down easy because of some medicine or something.
Yeah.
Well, the general idea was without being administered their daily medicine, that the one doctor was giving to them, that because that's why when the hobo finds them, they tell him, we are sick, because they've been without their medicine for a period of time where like they're slowly dying.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And Bandit, gets his shit kicked in a bit. But the cat comes in to save the fucking day. And just starts, like, mauling and fucking tearing up this Mastiff's face.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. Tears up its goddamn eyes.
Yeah. I think if you wired a house cat into a mech suit, though, that's exactly what's going down, so.
Sounds about right.
Oh. Yeah, so. Okay.
Stop.
Yeah.
Get your nose out of there.
Oh, one sec.
Get your nose out of there.
Alright. So the cat just keeps beating the shit out of this Mastiff and knocks him into traffic. Back up on the freeway. And, like, at this point, the Mastiff's missing chunks of its head. Cops are shooting at it. The thing just keeps fucking going. And then Bandit fucking stares it down.
And then we get the terminate command Fido, and the thing's fucking head explodes.
Yeah,
I have a small
Suicide
question.
Squad style.
That's an easy fucking command to fuck up.
Right?
Well, there's that, but also, why the fuck did you do that to all the animals? Like here's the thing. I get
yeah,
it. I get
well,
it,
that was one of my bazillions of questions that I had too.
Okay, well, we can save that because we're almost done with the plot synopsis.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's why I was waiting.
Okay, continue.
So the two surviving animals, looking haggard as shit and dying, escape once again, only to be chased by fucking helicopters into a, like, construction area. Yay. And they start, like, Bandit's fucking mechanical parts start falling off. And they get the moment of awareness that creeped the fuck out of me. Where Bandit starts calling the armor a coat and goes, the coat is not me, basically.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's creepy. And so, the military goes and tries to find them, only to find they'd cast off their armor and somehow had set one of them to explode. Yeah, because I can really buy animals doing that too,
Well, yeah, makes perfect sense.
My dog would do that to me. Like, yeah.
My dog did that to me once.
So now you just blown up? Yeah. Like, oh.
Yeah. I got better. I mean, wasn't too bad. So yeah, now these animals are running around with fucking cybernetic shit sticking out of them, patches of fur missing. They look like hell and they're dying. And Yeah.
Yep.
It just kind of gets like Plague Dog sad, and
It does, but then at the very end, it gets a little bit better.
Then Commissioner Gordon, apparently. Now he's wearing an overcoat, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna go get the Batman.
Christ.
So, fucking Dr. Chong sinks the senator's campaign off panel and goes wandering around outside, like a bodega from the looks of it, and runs into a homeless dude with a cat and a dog. And they're looking pretty healthy, but they're missing big old patches of fur.
Yep.
And the dude is, sitting there obviously begging. And Dr. Chong recognizes him immediately and goes, "You need any help taking care of him, any way I basically could help," kind of thing. And gives him like $400.
Yeah, something like that.
And then, talks to the dog and basically says, "Good dog, clever little dog," and walks away to what looks like hearings. Knowing full well those are the two animal weapons he just had a hand in creating.
Yep.
And that's how it ends. The only one that actually dies is the rabbit.
Because rabbits fucking suck.
Oh, you summed them up, man. They poop and they die. That's it.
They eat stuff, they shit it out, and then they get attacked by predators. Fucking that's how it happens.
Well, usually they get to make like 10,000 babies first, but...
Someone who's owned multiple rabbits in his time, yes, that's exactly what happens.
All right, Piper, since you're the resident autist, I am very curious as to know what the myriad of questions you had about this book as you're reading it. Because we can't forget, last time, fucking decomposition that hasn't occurred after she's been fucking dead for a week. This is some bullshit. Anyway, go ahead.
So I really can't wait to hear what her questions are about these animals inside mech suits.
Right? Okay. Well, then I'll tell you them in the order that they popped in my head and started bothering me as I was reading.
All right, here we go.
The first one was, if this was written in 2004, we have drones. Why the fuck are they even doing this?
Once again.
Well, first thing I was going to say is, how effective were the drones that we had in 2004?
Not very.
But you would think that they would put effort into the drones instead of unstable fucking animals in mech suits
Here's where I get autistic, Piper. Do you know what year it was when we started using drones for like bombing runs and shit?
Probably 2002-ish, I believe.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was around there.
Well, I mean, I guess like mainline, like during the Obama administration, where it's happening all.
Well, it was doing it a lot at that point, but before that, I was watching the military channel. I liked that channel when I had it. It was like the History Channel, only not retarded.
Okay.
No,
let me
and they were going on about how they were training soldiers with Xbox-like controllers, Xbox, PlayStation-like controllers. They were actually training soldiers on those controllers for all sorts of unmanned shit. And I thought that was neat because they were like, well, we're taking something that they're already pretty good with and using it to our advantage so less soldiers are out there getting blowed up and all that good shit. So all of this shit was like already like going down. Putting animals in mech suits is like 10 steps backwards from that.
Okay, to preface, wireless technology wasn't there yet.
It was though.
But it wasn't. Not in 2004.
It was.
To an extent, yes, but not to the extent.
Actually, that shit was around in the 90s. We just didn't get any of it. But they did.
Okay.
They got it.
There's a difference between wireless technology in theater and wireless technology across the world, right? Now we're at the
I'm just talking about in America. America had it like.
Well, I understand that, but what I'm saying is, in
the military
theater,
had it back in the 90s.
In theater, yes, I agree with you. Like in theater, you could people in Iraq were controlling the drones in Iraq.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you see why this isn't practical for worldwide deployment at that time.
Do you understand what he's saying, Piper?
And animals in mech suits being controlled by
Absolutely.
the same remotes are?
But were they not those remotes like within close proximity?
They still were. So it's
yeah.
like so
similar
it works.
technology.
It's still backwards.
No, it's not because you put an animal in a mech suit and fuck you. That's why.
I was gonna say, see, if you design it from the ground up, they want to design it based on animals. I'm sure they could have with the technology.
See, now you're
they
getting
would have
into
figured
Blade
it
Wolf
out.
territory, and now we're not there yet.
Yeah, but I'm saying if they're gonna go this route with these animals with antennas sticking out of their heads and all this bullshit, then I'm sure they could have just made AI that mimicked some of that shit, but was way more controllable than an actual animal, because
Okay,
that
wait a
still
minute, wait a
means
minute.
that shit's dying,
Time
for
out.
one, and they got to come up with all these animals.
Time out. Wait a second. Hold on a second. So, got a problem that we got drones and shit. And why and stuff like that. But AI, go ahead and throw the AI at them.
No, I'm saying if they.
But then you're like, fuck, just make an AI. That fucking works. It's fine. You don't fucking need anything
What I'm
else.
saying is they already had drones. They actually
But they weren't unmanned. I mean, they were unmanned in a sense. They were unmanned in the sense that there was no man in there, but they still had an operator.
And Piper, you realize you realize this is a comic book, right? This is
Once again,
I'm saying it's fucking up my fun with the comic book when I'm spinning the comic book going, why the fuck would the government do this? This seems like a giant waste of money.
Wait.
Why would the government be doing stupid shit? Is that a question?
Yeah, you just asked a different question because
why would they not be pumping all that money into
yes, they absolutely
drones
would.
and animal-like robots instead of actual animals in robot suits?
Incorrect. They absolutely would.
Well, then I'll go on to my second question.
like for real, I'm gonna be tell a little something out of. I'm a budgetary hawk when it comes to what the United States government spends their money on, right?
And you would be all for.
No. It's not that I'm all for. I recognize when the government does dumb shit.
Yeah, then I'm saying this is dumb shit.
No. What I'm trying to tell you is, you said why would they? They do that now.
They do it all the time.
Yeah, they. You know what they? Okay. Do you know that they one time sunk? I think it was $10 million into a project. And you know what the project was?
What?
I'm not kidding you. A treadmill for lobsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This must have been after I got rid of cable. God damn.
Have any of you seen the movie The Men Who Stare at Goats?
Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah, that's a real fucking thing they tried.
Yeah.
Piper, you know about that, right?
Okay, no, but I do now.
Okay.
Quick synopsis. Yeah.
Yeah, quick synopsis. They got a group of soldiers and like, we're gonna see if you can explode goats with your fucking minds. Because you can explode a goat, you can explode our enemies.
What?
Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah, so all your bullshit about, the government wouldn't be spending money on this dumb shit. Yes, they fucking would.
And the funny thing,
all right,
they really managed to kill one. Seriously.
Right. Did it die of boredom?
No, they just stared at it so hard it fucking died.
Fucking keeled over.
Because, for one thing, that I guess they didn't realize
keeled over
goats
from
are
stress from being stared at like that by a
That's
predator.
pretty much what it was. The goats are very stressed.
Yeah,
they're very stressful animals. So yeah. So
okay. All right, then I believe you. Then I'll go on to my second question that popped in my head while we were.
All right, by all means.
Why the fuck did they steal kids' family pets for this instead of raising and training their own shit? They're scientists.
Okay, there's an easy
There's lab animals raised specifically for this shit.
Easy explanation.
Okay.
Because you wouldn't have felt shit for a lab animal.
True. Also,
yeah, I
something
would
that's a little bit less like.
Well, you wouldn't have felt as much.
Yeah. Also, for something that's a little bit less like dark and grim. The general idea about We3 as a unit is the connections they like pair bonding type of shit, or trio bonding as you'd call it. If you have animals that have already made emotional connections to humans and treat those as members of their own species, dogs pair bond with humans pretty fucking efficiently. We also know that, according to current scientific data, that cats just see humans as giant fucking cats who don't know how to hunt.
I was gonna say they see us as retarded kittens.
Yeah, and same thing with like rabbits do something similar. So if you take something that already has an emotional connection to other living creatures, you take that away, well, they're gonna attach to the next living creature that they find themselves in close proximity to, which was the one female scientist and each other. So that's why.
Fair enough.
And that was all due to the domestication. Like if they had just been lab animals and like. You know,
they wouldn't have had that pack empathy.
Yeah,
right.
Because it would have already been like from a very early age, it would have already been like out of them, but pretty much because they had already been separated from mama and all this other bullshit. So you know.
Okay, then why did they? But they stole people's animals instead of like adopting. Like
once again,
it's the United States government. They're kind of dumb.
Yeah,
they are assholes.
And they're dicks.
They're dicks.
Okay, then...
They are dumb dicks.
Shit. See, this is what I get for reading it early, because now I'm forgetting half of my questions.
Jesus.
God damn it.
You know, it's almost like if they need a program where you can write down words to save for later.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, maybe the military will invent that someday.
It'll only cost
I won't have for another
$8
decade.
billion. Well, then I gotta say this, at least partially through reading, I was like, man, this is the most fucked up version of Homeward Bound I have ever read.
You know, I was having that like vibe, like, this is just plays one of the dogs with a rabbit. I mean, that's
Yeah, they just replaced Chance with a rabbit. It's fine.
I wouldn't be surprised if Grant Morrison, in his warped mind, because he is a very warped individual, did say, I like that Homeward Bound movie, right? So, I really like that. So I thought maybe if I put him in a mech suit and make them all killers and turn one of them into a rabbit, that'd be great. And that's my Grant Morrison impression.
Phenomenal impression, gotta say.
Then
So
there
Piper,
was
got
the
any
one
more
that we were
questions?
all going to ask, or that I wasn't the only one that had the question, which is good because I forgot what the hell it was, but it was one that I wanted to ask. And then there's, if they need their medicine, how the fuck did that homeless dude get their, how has he got their medicine?
I think the medicine was required because of the cybernetics.
Mm-hmm.
And they probably didn't need it anymore after...
One El Hobo took out the cybernetics. It was probably anti-rejection medications.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Chances
true.
are that's most likely what it was.
But if there's nothing there to reject, their immune systems would no longer be compromised.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's two answered with really easy explanations.
That was not easy at all.
Come on, Piper. I thought you had. Come on, give us these hard-hitting questions.
But your questions were just, it's the government. It's the government, man.
Well, you're not wrong though.
Occam's razor, dude.
Yeah.
The simplest explanation is most often the right one.
I mean, okay, for example, you talk about drones, and drones are so easy to use now. Okay, then why does the federal government have and I'm honest, hand to God, telling the truth here, why do they have a program that where they want to attach tiny little cameras to cockroaches?
Because that's fucking makes them useful for once.
But I'm just saying that is another example. Why?
Well, that's actually in the when I was reading the comic, like the rats thing had my attention. Even
like how they were using rats to assemble like jet engines in like 48 hours.
Yeah, because it's probably cheaper and easier than making a bunch of tiny rat-sized robots to do the same thing. So that was interesting. It was when we got into the pets that I was like.
Basically, you're saying if every animal in this movie was a rat, you'd be like, I'll buy it now.
Wait, it's not a movie, but...
Well, yeah.
Yet.
Yeah.
I was saying that, I guess, getting into the story and how into a story you are, where the back of your mind isn't going, hold the fuck up.
You have a really bad. You really cannot suspend disbelief, can you? Like,
I try.
Her belief
You know, this
suspension
is probably
gland is
why I
not
haven't even
fully
started
formed.
my own comic, is because I've been researching so much bullshit for this thing. Because I can't just leave my own stories to, fuck it, it's the government. Like,
Well, see, it's not so you don't have to fucking be like, oh fuck it, it's the government, have some stupid bullshit excuse, but
yeah, no.
not everything that you write has to have like this unbelievable, like this in depth. You don't have to fucking write a fucking in-depth explanation for literally fucking everything. Like,
That's what I'm coming to terms with, so
here's
that
the
I
thing.
can actually
Page
get
14 of the
started.
first issue. There's literally a rat with a screwdriver for a head.
Yeah.
You know what I did when I saw that shit? I was like, that's fucking metal. And then I moved on.
See, and me, I was like, oh, I can get this rats thing. Okay, yeah,
You know,
makes sense. It's pretty economically sound. And then I saw that rat, and I was like, does it fucking have a head? How the fuck is it alive if it doesn't?
It kind of reminds me of those people like and I'm gonna just to throw an anime reference here that people that watch Full Metal Alchemist, right?
Yeah.
And they say, well, in one episode, they're drawing the circles and they have to use the material, they get to make something, and then in the next one, they just clap their hands and it's doing it while what the fuck? And I was like, well, here's the reason why the writer of the story didn't want to like have his characters always drawing circles all over the fucking place.
Well, no, because I've watched that at least, and they gave an explanation.
Yeah, but still,
Sort
it's
of.
like the
It's one of those that if you can shrug and go magic, bruh, then
Okay, another example. Akira Toriyama. He had a story where he had this giant fucking tank in it, right? And everybody loved the fucking tank. You know why? You know why? Because it looked really cool. Because it was a fucking tank. You know what? He said 5 issues in, I hated that fucking tank. Why? Because I had to draw it. He says, I wish I'd have done a simpler design so it wouldn't have been so fucking hard to draw because it was very detailed. Like, different panels.
that's one thing. When
like
you
that.
design something, you can put a lot of detail in it in the design. You got to keep in mind that you're going to be drawing that thing a million times.
Yeah.
What was that during the old Red Ribbon Army shit?
Yes, it was because it was like one of the mainstays of the Red Ribbon thing, so it was like very detailed, and then after he said after 5 issues, I hated that tank.
Sounds about right.
It's the same reason why he brought back Frieza instead of Cell. He said Frieza had a simpler design. I didn't want to draw all those spots on Cell again.
Yeah, right? Feel that.
It's absolute madman.
Shit, I had a thought. Oh, yeah. So I pick things apart like I can't help it when I watch them or read them, but that's still part of the fun.
It would be really fun to take a superhero movie, wouldn't you?
Don't worry, I don't ask the questions till after the movie.
I can see that ride home. Like,
Exactly, that's how it is.
Yeah.
I drive my friends crazy because they were like, man, that was fun, that was awesome. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't get how the fuck he shrunk down that fucking building and it got thrown everywhere and nothing inside of that thing got fucked up. Like,
I had a friend who did that too. We went to see the second Transformers movie, God Forgive Me.
Don't worry, I did the same thing.
And, we're watching, okay, straight up. We're sitting here watching a movie about giant robots, right? And his question was, how could they just walk into Petra? I'm like, son. Okay, first off, because he's like, wouldn't they have guards or something like that? I was like, son, first off, if there were guards, they would fuck off immediately as said giant 15-foot robot is like, walks up. Like, oh, shit, I'm out. Second.
Piper, I thought you had more questions. Let's go.
Goddamn
I'm
movie.
trying to remember them. I know one was a side question that I just had at the very beginning, and it really didn't have anything to do with anything. But it was because it said something in the description about it was like his version of Western style manga, and I was like, isn't that just a fucking comic then?
Oh, was that Frank Quatley?
Yeah, it said it in the description. And
Well,
I
I'm
was
just saying.
like,
I was just wondering who said it because
I can't remember now because I'd have to pull the description back up. It was that part that stuck in my head. This particular story is their version of a Western style manga, and I'm just like, that's called a comic, dude.
I mean, it is and it isn't, because it really depends on how someone defines what manga storytelling versus traditional comic storytelling.
Well, see, and I was keeping it in mind while I was reading, and it right down to the art and everything was still very not manga to me. It was just a Western comic to me. The art's very good, by the way.
Yeah, it's good art. Very, very visceral.
I'm gonna go against the grain on this one.
What's that?
I don't like the art.
Really?
Nope.
What about it that don't you like?
Frank Quatley.
I mean that don't tell me a whole lot.
I don't like Frank Quatley's art. That's just it's just a thing. I mean, it's like I appreciate the story. I'm not saying I don't, right? But and I appreciate his style. I don't like it, and that's just me.
Well,
because
I guess because I'm not trying to convince you that it's really good. What I'm curious about is there anything in particular you can point to? Because I could probably I'll tell you right now, an element of his art that it's really weird. In certain panels, I do enjoy it, but there's other ones where I'm like this nigga doesn't know what a color palette is.
That's one.
Like, his color palette changes from page to fucking page.
That's true. I did notice that.
That's one. But the biggest thing, one second. The biggest thing to me is just his lines. I'll get to that in a second. One moment.
So to me, I kind of liked it because it was a little bit different, because everything was a little looser and it just looked like it was done in color pencil.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a bit of a change from the heavily inked, flat colors you usually get in a lot of comics.
Sorry about that. So what was I saying? Oh yeah.
Why you don't like the art?
The art. It's just okay. This goes back to when he drew X-Men and Justice League things and things like that. And I'm just like, why do all your human characters look like mongoloids? Because that's what's always turning me off about that art. That's just a personal preference. Like I said, I can understand why people enjoy it, and stuff like that. And I can look past it because usually he's working with Grant Morrison, and Grant Morrison writes good books.
I'll be honest. The main thing I like is how fucking visceral this book is. Because I for whatever reason, I like shit that hits you right in the fucking soul. And you're like, oh, I need to go lay down because my soul needs to recover from that shit. Oh, goddamn.
Yeah.
Like,
I still do think it's funny that we were supposed to do something more lighthearted after I got the most depressing, fucked up version of Hope.
This is my idea of lighthearted.
See, and I was excited because I saw a little bunny on the front.
Yeah.
I thought it was cute, and I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting, and it was interesting. It's not lighthearted.
Piper, have you ever watched Plague Dogs?
I want to say I have, but I'm going to look it up to make sure that it's the right thing.
Because I was well prepared for what kind of fuckery we were into, because I've watched Plague Dogs within the last year, and then I was like pleasantly surprised. I was like, oh shit, you mean it doesn't have an ambiguous ending where it's implied that the fucking dogs die? Awesome. This is like, nah, there's actually a happy ending for this.
I like how I looked this up. The other things that come up as recommendations are Fox and the Hound and Bolt. Oh, all dogs go to heaven.
Those two dogs didn't.
No, I have not seen Plague Dogs now that I'm looking at it. I was thinking of something completely different.
Just don't.
I like doggies a lot. So.
Oh, you know what? Fuck it, Piper. If you like doggies, yeah, watch Plague Dogs. It's great.
No, I mean, I like dogs. Being alive.
It's real good. It's real good.
All dogs go to heaven. I couldn't handle as a kid, man. It took me forever to get through that movie.
Yeah, Play Dogs is a good choice.
Yeah, it's a good choice if you like doggies. It's fine.
No, I was
And
thinking
then-
of a horror movie with really, really shitty looking dog puppet. It was an old ass movie.
Now what you need to do is watch Plague Dogs, then right after Grave of the Fireflies. Do a double feature.
Oh no.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna. I just need to talk about Grave of the Fireflies real quick.
Oh God! Oh no! Fuck that!
No, I'm not gonna go into it. I'm not gonna be like, here's why this is gonna make Piper cry.
No, I just looked it up and realized what it was, and I was like, no.
Fucking Grave of the Fireflies is honestly one of like 5 animated works that have gotten me to do that, like, not that like manly single tear crying. It's like I actually have to fucking go take a nap because I'm so emotionally drained after watching this fucking thing.
Yes. You know, there's a reason, and people don't understand it, but I read really, really, really sad stories before bed, and it's so that I can go to sleep.
God damn, woman.
I torture myself so I can fall asleep.
Shit, you are slowly becoming more and more my type.
I was gonna say it has to make me cry a lot, and then I'll fall asleep because I'm drained. I'm done.
We just started talking about Grave of the Fireflies. I was like, oh yeah, that's one of the few things that actually made my cold, dead heart fucking spring back to life and be like, oh, I actually have emotions. And you're like, just so you know, I read super sad shit so I can cry myself to sleep.
Well, you said
What
you had to
the
go take a nap, and I was like, well, shit, when I'm not drinking, that's the other way I used to go to sleep.
Well, I didn't mean it the way you did. I have to take a nap because I'm just like, I can't deal with my emotions right now. I need to sleep them away.
Yeah, no, mine is, if it makes you have a really good cry, you're tired afterwards, emotionally and physically. So I go to sleep better because something was so sad it made me cry. And I've noticed it's more manga and Asian stuff that I read that does it for me than, I guess, Western stuff. Doesn't pull at the heartstrings as much. They know how to make people cry. We should watch out.
I'm taking that as a challenge.
I'm trying to think of what we could read.
Right, alright, I'm gonna find some comics that are gonna make Piper cry.
Let's see.
It's a new mission.
I mean, I got some Rob Liefeld shit if you want to cry. It would be over your heart. But
Dear God.
Fucking.
after I just said, like, I don't like, Frank qualities. I respect it, stuff, but I don't like it. But then I just shit all over Rob Liefeld.
I mean, to be fair, his art used to be really, really fucking bad, but he's gotten better.
He's gotten better. He still has problems with feet, but
I was gonna say, when I see his name, I cringe, though, because I'm just like, oh, bruh. Like, I'm not great at art, but I'm at least know how human bodies work.
Can you draw a hand? Can you draw feet?
I can feet. Hands take a while.
Yeah,
but I can feet.
I can feet.
I can feet just sounds like a really weirdly translated foot job dojin.
I can feet.
I can feet.
If anybody wants to give me thousands of dollars, I'll send them pictures of my feet.
Oh, goddamn.
Piper, please.
I hear that's
the least
popular.
important thing about you.
But
If you're gonna send people pictures of anything, it should be your tits.
right?
Send them a picture of your brain. Because we respect smart women.
I mean,
love
yeah, we
science.
respect smart women. Unfortunately, we don't have any on this podcast.
Damn.
Aw, I love science. I don't have enough alcohol for this one. I'm all out.
No, that's it, Wayne. We're doing fucking Flashpoint next week. Just to make Piper read the letter.
Oh,
I read the letter. I read Flashpoint.
Oh.
I have read that. It's almost there.
Okay. I remember, since we're talking about Flashpoint now, there was another podcast. They were talking about the animated adaptation of it,
which was good, by the way.
Yeah, which was really good. And one of the guys, Mark Swent, he was like, in Flashpoint, everybody's just a shittier version of themselves.
Yeah.
And the worst one is Bruce Wayne. He's the shittiest character because he's fucking dead. Don't get much more shitty than being killed. Oh shit.
But Thomas Wayne, badass.
Right? Holy
But no,
shit.
Speaking of movie adaptations, there's been, talk and shit of getting We3 adapted since 2006.
Oh wow.
And as recently as last year.
I'd watch it.
I bet they'd. I have a feeling they would probably streamline the design of the suits, because that's what
Those were
Hollywood
pretty
does.
interesting. The cat's tail didn't make much sense to me.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
And I bet the animals would emote a lot more too.
Yeah.
It
They would
somehow
have
be
to. Honestly, considering The Killing Joke didn't make an entire movie on its own, I think these 3 issues, they're going to have to pump a lot into it to make it a movie length anything.
Well, you always throw a dumb military montage at the beginning,
Eh.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a little featurette. It's gonna be 15 minutes. Because I'm telling you right now, if they fucking pull The Killing Joke with the fucking adaptation of this, I will fucking murder somebody.
Like,
That was so... Killing Joke pisses me off. That is a whole nother episode right there all by itself. With all that bullshit they put in the front, they could have put the origin of Oracle in the back instead, if they needed to fill time. Instead of that weird, angry sex, I'm a strong, independent woman crap in the beginning.
All I would have done was, if I was telling that story, and if you absolutely needed a point where, you go, why this happened, why are you in this wheelchair now, Barbara, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It would have just said, been like, well, at this point she's already Oracle. They would have showed her as Oracle, and then she would have just like recounted the events and not the fucking shit there at the beginning there, because that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait, good job adding shit.
But they could have put a little bit in the front, just like, this is Batgirl and shit. But yeah.
Hold up. To do Wayne's idea, then at the end it pulls out. She's talking to the birds of prey.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it would have been perfect.
That's what I'm thinking, though, is I was pissed because if they wanted to do let's focus on Batgirl a little more and show that she's actually really strong and shit, instead of putting that dumb shit in the beginning, put that she comes back as Oracle at the end, and that she's making the best out of a shit situation, and that she's not letting that get her down, and she's still, superheroing in her own way and shit. That would have been perfect.
Honestly,
for that.
You know what I said when I saw when I saw that in the beginning of Killing Joke? I stared at the screen for a minute. I put it on pause right before the actual movie started.
Yeah.
And
I saw a video of me watching the entire thing, but for some reason it cuts out in the middle. I don't know what happened.
I'm sitting there watching. I put it on pause. And I said, this is why Alan Moore hates humanity.
This is true.
Yeah. I was like, when you take his work and you just like, hey, guys, you see this Alan Moore book? Yeah, I'm going to shit all of it.
Is everybody just fucking Australian or something? Like,
well, I think that was Keith Richards.
Yes, I guess. Whatever.
Better yet, Wayne, even to pull it in tighter, at the end, who she's telling the story to is Cassandra Cain.
Oh, it'd have been a new Batgirl.
Yeah,
that would have been cool too, even. Just way better than what they fucking did. Who decided that was a good idea?
Look, the first 28 minutes of the adaptation of The Killing Joke is the best cinema I've ever fucking watched.
Oh.
All right, but
because bat sex?
Bring it back to the ranch.
Yeah.
Last name actually attached to We3 was James Gunn.
Huh.
I mean, if anybody could pull it off, I'd say it'd be him.
Yeah. He's done the fucked up body horror / animal horror shit stuff before with Slither.
Yeah.
I could be down for that.
There was another goddamn question, and it was the same question, and I can't remember. One of y'all asked.
Oh yeah,
and I can't remember.
I had a similar question. I fucking forgot about it.
God damn it!
Look, man. The entire point of me trying to prod you is just because you always have like fucked up. This doesn't make any sense, even though it's a fucking comic, and I should suspend my fucking disbelief once in a while. But I don't like having fun.
No, that is my fun though. My fun is picking my favorite shit apart.
Hold up a sec.
That is fun for me.
Which one of you two motherfuckers just did a 4,000 word write-up of Batman Ninja?
Look, okay, look, in my fucking defense, that shit is fucking stupid.
That's it. Also, I remember the question.
Okay, go ahead.
Why didn't they put bombs in all the animal sprays? Instead of just the massive spray.
That's an actually good point.
That's a good fucking
right?
I agree with that. Like
they did it.
And that was when I realized that they had a code word. I thought it was going to be like a head exploding or the suit exploding thing, one of those two. And when it happened, that was my first thought too. Was okay, so why didn't they do that for every single animal that they're doing this shit to? They obviously needed a safety.
And why did they make it such an obvious thing like Fido?
Yeah, that's a little bit.
That was the military.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say. Yes, you can sum that up with the government.
Yeah, government.
It's kind of like you remember the Hellboy movie where the guy was like coming up with names for people and he said Sparky, and Hellboy's like Sparky, and of course that guy's name was Myers.
God damn it.
It always comes back. It always comes back around.
Oh, shit.
We got a villain named Taserface in Marvel, so I mean... Everybody might be running out of ideas.
Well, that idiot came up with his own name, remember?
Somebody had to come up with that name for him to come up with, though.
True.
All right, I think we've hit a good stopping point, though.
Indeed.
Probably.
Anybody got any final thoughts that are going to take under 5 minutes?
No.
I have some closing thoughts.
All right.
My closing thoughts are fuck you, Jason. My 4,000 autism on 4,000 word autism on Batman Ninja was fucking excellent, and you said so yourself. So eat my dick.
But you're going on about Piper's ability to not suspend disbelief.
Okay. Okay. First and foremost.
Wait.
Autism fight!
Final thoughts in pertaining to this book.
Okay. All right. Final thoughts pertaining to this book. I will save my autism for something else. Fuck, I don't fucking know. The rabbit fucking shits bombs. This book is fucking weird.
The fact that I was basically like Cesar Romero. Not Cesar Romero, fucking, the dog whisperer guy was like, down, boy, down. Stop.
Also, the rabbit decided his tail was broken, but it looked perfectly fine to me.
Well,
also, is his tail supposed to, like, jet propulsion somewhere or something? Because it looks like a propulsion system, but
that's where he dropped the bombs, right?
Well, no, that was the little freaking butthole right under the tail. And he was talking about the tail of his suit or something. His tail was broken and he wanted a human to fix it. And I couldn't figure out, it didn't look broken. I couldn't figure out what the fuck it was for. But then again, I don't know what the cat's tail was for either.
I don't fucking know.
There you go.
Jesus Christ.
I'll sum it up as good, as usual, pretty decent Grant Morrison story. And, very out there, which is Grant Morrison.
Yeah.
All in all, considering I got to the last page as you were summing up the last page.
I told you. It's a quick read.
Yeah, it's a quick read. But yeah.
That was me on the last, reading the identity crisis thing.
Like, I made it.
Doing it just fast enough for them to not spoil it. So I was like, what the fuck? In the middle of people talking.
All right, well, yell at us on Twitter at graded.5, and we won't see or hear you, so you'll hear us next time.